Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to English 101. Right now, I'd like to describe a second of four databases that you can use for your persuasive essay and also for the MLA final term paper. This one is CQ Researcher, and it's the same one that you used for pro-con discussion board last week. If you're wondering how I got here, I go to my home page, I go down to the Hendrick Meyer Library. That opens this page, and I click on Library Databases. And then I've slid over to letter C and then down a little bit to CQ Researcher. And I think there's one more screen and it will bring you to this right here. Now, as I said last week, CQ stands for Congressional Quarterly. These are people who spend a great deal of time researching for congressmen, for representatives and senators from our state and the rest of the country. And these are professional researchers. Their work is impeccable. And they're always posting new reports. Like here we can see one that just came out a couple of days ago about infrastructure, which is a big deal. Here are some recent ones as well. Big tech, domestic terrorism, K-pop. They always have a list of hot topics and so forth. What we did last time is we went to browse reports and then looked at ProCon. Today, I'm just going to open up one of these full reports and show you all the great information. And we'll stick with our example of domestic terrorism. So I'll click on that. Now, the neat thing about these reports is that we can scroll over to the left and get all sorts of information. Here's the ProCon we used before, but notice there's chronologies, maps and graphs, contacts, footnotes, author information, background. So there's always a short introduction here. And you can just kind of scroll through the whole thing if you want, or these will just take you to those sections a little bit more quicker. Notice the rise in domestic terrorism. I found that a little disturbing. Great graphics. They do a chronology. I'll just skip to that, which is interesting. But we'll talk about insurrection of our history, which is sort of ironic because we started as an insurrectionist country against the British. So I feel like sometimes we get a dose of our own medicine. But notice how it takes us right up until 2021 and the Capitol breach. So this is kind of neat if you're looking for background information and so forth. Current situation kind of tells you what's been happening recently. Again, this is updated very, very frequently. So if you were to use this source, we have a tool for that as well. And again, usually you can find it looking for the word cite or quotation marks. So anything I cited from any place in this article, whether it's in the introduction, or whether it's in a map or graph. If I wanted to give credit for this, I'm just going to go to Cite Now. And I'll slide over to MLA. And then it gives us this citation. We can copy and paste this into our Works Cited page. Now, just a reminder again that you'll have to change the font to match the rest of your text, probably double space, sometimes even add in the italics where it's needed as well. Additional tools, you can save this, although I usually don't do that. Sometimes it seems to disappear, but you can always email it to yourself and you'll have a link to it, or you can print it as well. One of the things that works pretty well is that you can view this in a magazine form, and that's what I usually do. I find it sometimes easier to read, so I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to download it. Nope. For some reason, it's not working today. I've been having some internet problems, but you can typically do that. You can download it and view it as a magazine, which just means basically the font is bigger. For old eyes like me, it works pretty good. So that again is CQ Researcher. I'll be back with another video shortly.